Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I am Nerdarchist Ted, and tonight we're playing a little bit of a revised Untraditionally Arcane. If you happen to be familiar with our setup, some of the names of the individuals here look a little different, and that's because things are a little bit different. But before we dive into that and figure out what's all happened and what is going on, let me take a moment to point you towards our sponsor, Easy Roller Dice. Down in the description, you will find a link to Easy Roller Dice and a coupon code. But not only that, you're going to find a link to their current Kickstarter, Dice of Giants Series 2. You've got a normal D20 and an upsized D20. No, we're talking about a 48 millimeter D20 Dice of Giants. These things are awesome. They come in 7 different options: the Cosmic Giant, the Mist Giant, the Shoal Giant, the Blood Etten, the Valley Giant, the Lura Giant, and the Dune Giant. They're also working on bringing back their monstrous D6s for this Kickstarter in the same color options as well. These things are awesome, and you can totally shake the table with these awesome dice. So go check them out, show them some love, and support an awesome dice company. Without further ado, let's dive in and figure out what this familiar problem might be. If you've been watching this game, you know that all of these players are usually playing their wizards. Well, tonight they're going to be playing their familiars instead. But this is all within the same verse, also within the same story. Last time they had gotten to the junkyard near Frosthaven looking for the Tablet of Protection, one of the arcane vessels. And sadly, near the end of last session, the monstrous crane, which is a mech arm, was moving a pile of stuff. You heard a loud crash, you heard some shouts, and all of a sudden, a pile of stuff wound up collapsing and falling on top of our illustrious adventurers. Quick thinking, they kind of make a gesture and summon out their familiars. And well, apparently 4 of them managed to finish their casting before they were knocked unconscious by this massive pile of stuff. So our familiars know that they're supposed to be looking for this tablet and probably need to help out their masters before some more problems happen. So without further ado, I'm going to throw it over to our illustrious players, let them introduce themselves, where you might be able to find them, and we'll go with our producer, Jake.
Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and that's where you can find me when I'm not here playing a sentient mustache. You can find me over on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain, where we run a number of D&D games, including the Candlekeep Mysteries. We just started a couple weeks ago a brand new Descent into Avernus campaign, dungeon mastered by the one and only Vi Davies. That is every other Tuesday. We also have coming up for our second session next week, Mythos Tales, The Darkness Outside of Broken Branch, a Call of Cthulhu, a little bit of pulp Cthulhu Western action, Dawnbringers on Thursday nights. And but I'm excited to be here tonight playing Mustachio. And I'll throw it over to Carlos.
What is up, everyone? My name is Carlos Rivera, and I run the Volcanic Knight YouTube channel, where I help you play like an adult. And tonight, I'm not playing a fine feather. Instead, I will be playing Willie the Peacock, and I hope you all enjoy tonight. And with that, I will pass it on to Robin.
Tonight, I am a very disgruntled goblin who is currently a bat and not very happy about it, but going to do this thing anyway because I am bound to serve.
And what is your bat's name?
Oh, Echo. Echo.
And last but certainly not least, Asa.
Hi, I am Asa. I am with Roll for Mischief. We stream Dungeons and Dragons on Twitch every Tuesday. Yeah, there's probably more stuff in the thing down below about that. And I am playing Miss Lane. And she is a gray cat, specifically I'm going to screw up this pronunciation, Nibelung, which is a Norwegian cat, I believe. And coincidentally, a cat that I actually own.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, she's made her appearance on this stream before, having climbed into my lap while we were playing, and that is how she became Joshua's familiar.
By crawling onto your lap in real life.
Yep, my cat has
familiar.
become my character's familiar.
All right. Well, if you haven't figured it out by now, by looking down in the chat or by any of the weird stuff that our players have kind of called, we are playing a familiar problem. This is a one-page RPG that was put out on Free RPG Day by the amazing people over at Critical Role. I don't know when it's going to be publicly available, but I know it was a free grab at any of your local game stores on Free RPG Day, and I set out to go get one because I'm an RPG whore. What do you want to? So I had to grab it, and once I had it, I knew I was already looking to run something with familiars for these players, and this just happened to be perfect. So let's, as Robin says, let's turn the world on and see what winds up happening here. So you guys have just been summoned and probably have not really interacted with each other before, at least not so much on stream. So you know that you're in the middle of a junkyard. You were called with that mission in hand. What do you do?
So immediately, Willie, being the type of person he is, kind of like with his feathers, kind of like, oh, I hope Flock didn't call me to a place like this. smells. I look around. Do I see the other familiars appear at the same time?
You all appear within 10 feet of each other. There is a massive pile of stuff everywhere, like it's mountains of things all over the place. You do know that the party was heading in a general direction, and there does appear to be some kind of like small opening within one of these mountains, but that's all you.
So Willie would not be familiar with Ordo himself, right?
You would. It is entirely up to you, because you would know whether Phlox has summoned Willie in the presence of any of the other characters.
I see a mustache on the floor, and I'm just like, oh, poor thing.
The mustache sort of starts at the end where it curls up. It just sort of unfurls and then sort of starts flitting up and flies up into the air next to you. Oh, indubitably a poor thing indeed. Where is it? What is this poor creature that you see?
I literally, my feathers just fan out, kind of like trying to make myself look as white as possible.
Oh, what an impressive display of grandiosity. I'm perhaps all the more impressive due to this peculiar and dirty place we find ourselves in.
Willie's blushing.
As Mustachio takes flight, Miss Lane will dive at him.
Oh God!
Are you looking to like literally pounce, or are you trying to just put on a display?
Oh, I want to pounce on the mustache.
All right, so why don't
I love that our first roll is going to be PvP.
So why don't you go ahead and give me a quick roll there, Mustachio?
That's a D10, yeah?
Yep. D10, add your quick.
That is a 9.
So with ease, you're able to get out of the way, despite the accuracy of the pounce. Your mustachioedness gets out of the way without a problem.
Oh no, Cat! I'm afraid I don't need any assistance, but I do appreciate your offer. So help me out in whatever way, but as you can see, I'm perfectly capable of flight.
I'll pace back and forth, looking at Mustachio, and then sit and begin to lick the bottom of my paw, and just say, "Don't worry, I'll catch you one day, little flying furball."
So as the cat pounces in, Willie's like, "Oh no, predator, predator!" Kind of like, get up in the air, but he's kind of chunky, So he just kind of wobbles his way to a corner.
And what is Echo doing?
You hear a cry break the air. No! And he's just like digging in the mound of rubbish.
Oh Lord.
No! If you, and just like little wings swiping at like small bits of junk debris. If you die down there, you're going to drag me with you, you foolish, foolish woman.
Is everything all right?
I don't think you're going to be able to dig her out, flying rat.
I am not a rat. And I am going to bite you. I will suck your blood.
I'm not actually looking at you. I'm still licking my paw, and I say, "You are welcome to try."
Pick up a little like nut that was in the pile and just start like banging it on something else and like turning it over in my tiny bat hands.
Are you trying to accomplish something or just vent your rage?
I just decided that it was shiny. I look at it like I'm very angry at it for a second before stowing it in my little bat bag and continuing to throw things.
No,
so
no.
I will say we are still in the same the same game, the same universe. So if any of you do decide to do any pilfering, make note of it, and we will figure out what that is in between sessions.
All right.
So I look at this bat, yelling at this pile of garbage, like, and I'm just like, it might mean to hear that you were also summoned for a particular rescue mission. Is that accurate, Matt?
Probably. Of course. She makes a mess and then expects me to clean it up. Just like a wizard.
No.
Monsters are still alive. Well, that's why we are still here. And I believe I was given a directive to find something. If you care to follow me, that is fine. And I'm going to stand up and begin to walk aimlessly, just swaying my tail, like twitching it back and forth.
I throw a crumpled paper ball at the back of Miss Lane. And then I'm like, there's something. And I like flap up into the air.
All right. So I'm going to say, go ahead and give me a sly roll. That'll be you, Echo.
Yes. Hold on, I gotta check my character sheet. 14.
Did you roll a d20?
Oh, what was I supposed to be rolling?
D10.
A d10. Okay.
I'm like, I think the number only go up to +3.
No, you're right. No, 8. The number is 8.
Like how?
I'm
muscle memory, that's how.
I nat 20.
All right, so the crumpled piece of paper, are you aiming for the tail itself or like the hindquarters? Like you hit the cat where you want.
Just in like the back of like the curve of the spine.
All right. So Miss Kitty Cat, you get something bopping on your hindquarters.
I just turn back and hiss.
Sassy.
But you're just aimlessly wandering. Right?
I mean, I'm wandering as though I have direction. Our last objective was to find this object, the
Yes,
tablet.
you're looking for the tablet of protection.
Was it a piece of paper you threw at me? Like a crumpled up piece of paper?
Yeah, it was just a folded up piece of paper.
Well, after hissing at you, I see what you threw and turn and start to bat it around. Because what cat can't not play with a piece of paper?
Well, it seems as though Miss Lane has procured our first clue. Undoubtedly, whatever it is that you have found before you, Miss Lane, or perhaps Echo. Perhaps it was you who sent you through it. This must be the first clue to whatever it is we are supposed to be finding. I wait patiently for your revelation as to what our adventure awaits.
Come on, don't keep us on suspense. Open it up.
After you bring up the fact that I have this object, I just kind of bat it to the side and say, I don't really see a lot of purpose in this. I don't really need it anymore. You can have it.
I really hope when you said that it was purpose. I really hope you use it.
So, did you bat it towards the peacock or towards the bat?
I batted it towards Willie.
All right. So, Willie, do you open up?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, pecking at it, kind of like scratching at it. All right, open it up.
You tell me what's on the paper.
Y'all suck. I'm joking.
It's a map, right where we need to go.
It's a map. It's a map.
It says tablet is here with a big X.
It's some sort of indication of where our masters thought the map may be, where the tablet may be.
All right. So it's some writing that is clearly comes from the previous Wizard of Dralek, and like there's some indication it's got some drawings of wizard paraphernalia as well as a picture of what you would assume is this tablet, and it's very well drawn. So perhaps if you found some of the other items that are on this picture, perhaps that could give you an indicator as to where the tablet might be.
So I'm pointing with my talons at the paper. Close, not to scratch, but kind of like, like you see that squiggly line right there? We're looking for something like that. And then one with a same symbol, but with a dash right through it. It's like, you guys seen this stuff before, right?
I flit in up above Willie while trying to keep my awareness as to where Miss Lane is as well. Just kind of looking over the paper. Oh, yes, absolutely. It seems as though you have found an important piece of the puzzle. Yes, and I'm going to just peer over this document if there's anything that stands up to me.
All right, so go ahead and give me a clever roll.
Okay. +2, and that is an 11.
Oh, nice. So far, you guys are rolling like hotcakes. So either this is going to go really quickly, or things are going to turn and it's going to go very bad.
I don't know. Frag's not with us tonight, so the chances of it going really bad are a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Nice.
it's true. Though he did
intentionally ruin it. We're fine.
he did hang out with Carla, so hopefully he hasn't, So you look and you begin seeing, what's on the document, and you fly up and kind of give a look around, and one of the cabinets that is on the drawing, you see off towards one of the mountains of junk. There seems to be like some tunnels like burrowed through them. Well, like the cabinet, you can see the sigil marks on it lies at the entrance of one of these tunnels with its like door hanging open leading towards one of these tunnels.
The door be closed, just because you know how cats like to open cabinet doors.
Well, one side is you
Okay,
can open the other side. They
Am I-
opens like that, so one side is closed.
perfect.
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 Is Miss Lane? Am I hearing Miss Lane's taking point?
Well, has Mustachio told us about this cabinet?
Yes. I tell you in the way that, oh, look here. It's wonderful that Willie has found what is clearly the way to go. Excellent job, Willie.
If you don't mind, Jake, I kind of imagine the mustachio like literally on the Peacock's face at this point. Like you got so excited, you just jumped over, and you're like wearing me basically, kind of like as this is happening. Hello, this is great.
I love it. There's now a peacock with a giant bushy handlebar mustache.
So does the curl stay and like the rest of it, kind of flap, or does the curl flap too?
I like to think that the curls at the end of the handlebar are sort of where Mustachio emotes. So it's almost like gesticulating with the hands. You just see that it sort of unfurls or gets really tight or whatever.
You know what? I'm also going to yield my movement to you if you feel like Mustachio really wants Willie to move somewhere as well.
I realize I'm the only one who picked a familiar that doesn't fly.
I noticed.
Although I do
Yeah.
think peacocks have limited flight.
I'm gonna perch on Willie and just hitch a ride because I'm very small. And
Oh,
peacocks are much larger than me.
We're gonna Voltron this. Hell yeah.
No, I'm just gonna walk my way up to that cabinet, jumping on little things that I can to get up there.
As Miss Lane takes off for the cabinet and heads up, I just say to the other two, "Oh, wonderful. Miss Lane has taken the lead. I feel as though we must not let her know that we view her as the leader, lest she become disinclined to lead us."
Yes. And of course, she's gonna in her head be like, well, of course I'm the leader. But if she ever gets told she is, it's like, no.
Yes, I feel
my
like
job.
if you tell Miss Lane anything, she's gonna just lose all interest in it.
Oh god.
I'm gonna rub my chin and say, cabinet door, my arch nemesis. I shall find a way to open you. And I'm gonna begin to paw at the corner and then cast door magic.
Now I know why you
Close,
wanted
lock,
to.
unlock doors, all of the classics. I'm going to use this to open the cabinet door.
All right. So it opens, closes, locks, unlocks doors. All the classics is what the door magic is. So I'm going to say for Shiggles that this is one of like those kind of larger cabinets. It's got the one set of doors, but then there's a couple of drawers and there's a secondary set of things. So you walk over and you kind of like tap at it and it out two of these little cubby drawers. The other door opens, the other whole set of things opened up, and it like you have to just kind of quickly move out of the way to get out of all of the moving pieces of your result of your spell.
Did you just find the resolute desk in a junkyard?
Do I need to roll for that, or I just do?
You do it, and your door magic is now used and gone.
Okay. It appears I have done it. I have conquered the cabinet. Come now.
So
Let's have a look.
If you're not familiar with the rule set, familiars have kind of stolen some time with their master spell book and have learned a little bit of magic. But it's all limited use. So once they use it, it's gone until they've had a chance to, go back and study.
Totally worth it for that.
Absolutely concur.
All right. So what are the rest of you doing besides riding Willie?
I'm following along. Like, oh yes, yes.
Once Miss Lane has clearly opened the door and continued forward, then I will begin to sort of move forward. I imagine it's almost like acting sort of like leading Willie along, but almost like a cowboy shaking the reins, and then like that little motion forward, and then Willie, you just sort of follow along. Onward, my beautiful feathered friend.
Except as opposed to like shaking the reins from behind, you are the reins, kind of like pulling.
You just see the one curl of the mustache just sort of unfurl, reach back, and tap the beak. Onward, my beautiful feathered friend. Tally ho!
As this is happening, my whole fans is just expanding with excitement. I guess this is great. Oh,
I keep avoiding some jokes because I feel like the jokes are just they're there.
Same.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that could be said given this situation that we're gonna easily just bypass. So as the lot of you decide to descend into the tunnel, is the cat in the lead with the Voltron behind, or?
Yes, I am. I
All right.
will look back to see if they followed and then go in before I verify that.
All right. So as you kind of begin to walk, there's little bits of light peeking through, but you're now walking through a tunnel of stuff. This is not the most stable, and you hear some garbled noise and the ground begins to shake, and you watch as the tunnel that you just walked through begins to collapse. You're gonna have to move forward and quickly to avoid getting buried. I need all of you to make a roll.
Quick. All right. Well, I'm going to start the day with poor rolls. I got a 3.
7.
8.
8.
8. All right. So Miss Lynn is going to take a stress. So the way this works is if you ever roll equal to or under your stress, you begin to freak out and break. So every one of you has a break condition or a break. This is what you do to role play. And if your allies are unable to get you to calm down, then you just kind of freak out and go off and do your own thing. Unfortunately, then you'd be out. But there's always the chance that they can bring you back. And if they do, you relieve your stress and are able to continue on with the mission.
I feel like I've already been playing into my break.
But the tunnel behind you is now collapsed. So I guess it's onward.
To wipe my cat brow. Whew, that was quite stressful. Wasn't it? Of course it was.
I look at Miss Lane like, yeah, absolutely. My feathers got ruffled, you see.
So who wants to make a clever roll for me?
You can do that.
Yeah.
I'm not great at that.
I am
I'm
quite
down
clever.
for it.
I'm a +2 in clever.
Out of curiosity, Jake, what are you on this list of familiars? Because there is not, believe it or not, if you didn't know this about the single page of this game, there is not a mustache familiar of the 12 familiar choices.
I decided to go with Owl.
Okay. That's very clever.
Yeah, so there are 12 different options on the sheet. It's bat, crab, frog, hawk, lizard, octopus, owl, snake, rat, raven, cat, or weasel. And because it's not only the Nerdarchy way, but a great way to play, visually I'm allowing them to be whatever they want and just choose what is most apropos. The peacock is really using a raven. The mustachio is using an owl. And then we've got a bat and a cat as per normal, though the bat is a semblance of the goblin who is the actual familiar that Chesseline kind of conquered with Raylith's help many sessions ago. But for this, that's the form that they've all taken. So, what did you get there? I was going to say Ordo. Mustachio?
I got an 8.
You got an 8. So, the very intricate potion bottle that you had noticed that was on the cabinet on the drawing is kind of lying empty, or not empty, but turned over on its side in a puddle right there in front of you guys. So it looks like whatever shook has kind of dumped this potion off to the side. So it's there, but not only is there, but it's also a notice that something else from that drawing is on your path.
So the potion bottle from the drawing tipped over.
Yes.
You said it's empty or it's not empty?
Well, the vial has been emptied, but it is in a puddle of some kind of basin or whatever. The contents are still there, but they're not in the bottle itself.
So I will point that out to everybody.
As Mustachio is looking at this, I have been crouching ready to pounce.
I kind of feel like there's no
pounce
way
on Mustachio again.
Please don't.
as soon as Mustachio turns to tell us anything, I'm going to drop my butt and start licking my paws and pretend like I wasn't doing anything.
Which, given the current status, means it appears as though Willie is also peering into the space and at the potion, and Willie turns to face you, and you just see the mustache, the curls at the end of the mustache unfurl all the way and then tighten right back up, realizing how close you are.
I'm like, oh dear.
Did you just say, oh dear?
I'm like, oh dear.
I said, oh dear at the same time.
Oh, seriously?
you and I both said, oh dear at exactly the same moment.
I'm not going to lie to you, Jake. I literally kind of blanked out for 5 seconds. And I'm like, I literally just heard, yeah, you're also looking at cat butt. I'm like, oh dear. First thing came to my head.
Did you find something?
Yes, the drawing that you found, the potion bottle that was here. It is here, but the contents of the potion bottle are emptied into this basin. I can only assume for our wizards we would need this potion, or perhaps somebody has already done us the favor of adding this potion to the beginning of some sort of wizardly brew. What do you think?
I think it smells quite bizarre.
Oh, God.
I find it's rather ironic. Being a mustache, I have no sense of smell.
Oh, God. So the entire time, I'm imagining Mustachio doing that, the whole,
Yes, yes.
exactly. The entire time,
Indubitably.
Indubitably, and I just can't. And Willie's like, yeah, that makes sense.
I turn, causing Willie to turn his head almost completely around to look at his back and look at Echo. A good nocturnal friend. Now all I want to do is go like this.
Yeah,
a good friend. What do you think of this situation with the potion? Have you any theories?
No, no, not really. What color is it?
It's like a mixture of like red and blue, like two different liquids. So obviously, like where the two are meeting, it's got like a mixture of purples.
I bet if we shake it up, something bad will happen.
Are you saying we should not shake it up? As I put my paw on the bowl.
We're not saying to shake it up, but we're not saying not to shake it up.
Yes.
It's rather curious.
Give it a slight jiggle. If my paw can actually move the bowl that it's in.
And you can like tap the basin and it will like kind of shimmer and move. It does appear liquid.
Did the directions that I so cleverly found say what we should do with this potion? Looking at Willie.
Oh.
I look down to Mustachio, huh? You're looking directly at me. I'm like, oh, great question. As I
like
look
cross-eyed.
down at my beak, like I'm not cross-eyeing myself. Huh?
Oh my gosh.
As my neck turns to look at Echo.
I'm like clinging, just panicked bat clinging.
So as that's happening, I guess I'm turning my neck so far it's gonna force me to walk in a quick circle. Like,
Did you just do a cartoon like twist your neck up and now you have to brrrr?
yes.
See why these familiars have never had to do a task together before. We're not a good combination. We don't help each other out very well.
I think we do.
A skull-headed bat, a cat, a peacock, and a mustache walk into a junkyard. This isn't a joke. This is the premise of our game.
So it's kind of a joke.
Right. That's where the unfamiliar in our title, Unfamiliar Familiars, comes from.
Well, yeah. So, options. You could try to find a way to put the liquid back in the bottle. You could drink it. You could ignore it. Or something else.
I will stick my face in the liquid.
Love it.
All right.
Absolutely wonderful idea. Capital.
Are you doing the same thing there, Mustachio?
Oh, not at all. What I meant was it was a wonderful idea for Echo to do.
All right, Echo. So since you already have 3 spells, you can make your choice. You can add a 4th, pocket magic, or you could take one of your stats and for today, increase it by 1.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. I choose Sly.
Okay.
Good stuff.
What does that put your sly at?
+3.
Okay.
Noise.
Oh, I feel sneaky.
Right.
Did anything happen to you?
There was a little bit of a shimmer as if like for just a moment, the like her I don't know, he, her, it was
The goblin is male.
outer surface, kind of takes on that almost purplish hue that's kind of down the middle of the potion. But it was just for a moment. If you happen to be paying attention as he kind of put his head into the potion.
Oh, I was watching very attentively.
Okay. Well, then that's what you would have seen.
So I'm imagining that scene from Anastasia where the bat thing, you know?
Bartok?
Yes.
I've been thinking of Bartok this whole time.
I love Bartok. I do the hi-ya scene all the time.
That's good. And then I kick her, sir.
and then I'd kick her.
I'll go over and like sniff at the liquid and like kind of cats will smell something that smells weird and they'll curl their lip back and kind of really give it a good whiff.
It doesn't have a strong scent.
I will give it a couple of licks.
All right. Well, then you can either roll or choose another pocket magic. Since you've already used your door magic.
I'm going to roll.
And if you roll and you already have it, then just roll again until you get something new.
Well, that is something that not only do I not have, but I don't think our group has. So I'm good with that.
Cool.
So I imagine as Willie is kind of curious as he brings close to the silvery the liquid, immediately Mustachio's like, oh no, good sir, not today, but thank you very much for trying. And
so
he just pulls his head back.
I would say as you do this, because I don't want to impede on your choice. So
It's
for a
what-
moment, the mustache is no longer a mustache. It becomes very animated eyebrows as I crawl back your beak and up to your forehead. Oh, yeah, good sir. But by all means, proceed. I have no need.
No, I'm just sniffing. I'm curious.
I assumed as like as Willie came close, like your mustache curls are grabbing the edge of the face and just kind of like pushing back
I like that,
long enough.
just holding
to
on
come
to
out
the
close.
edges of the base.
Like, no, I'm just curious the smell of it. I don't think this is to my palate.
You know what they say about curiosity.
Yes, as I
Don't
stare at
finish
Miss
that
Lane,
sentence.
I
It's a
just stare.
It's a perfect opportunity for the cat to like smack the peacock in the head.
Ooh, I like it. Sly. I'm gonna roll a sly and try to do that.
Isn't that one of those?
You can do a sly or a fierce for this.
I think sly, because I think I'll
Sure.
be like sneaking forward and do it when they're kind of
All right.
talking.
It's like one of those old toys where it's the little bird that the head keeps dipping down to.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Aw,
it's a 9. It's like
ding,
"Bah, bah,"
ding.
the back
So-
of Willie's head.
Willie, you feel this, tap on the back of your head, causes you to go forward and immerse your face into this potion.
So
I was on his face, so I guess I'm immersed too.
I will leave that up to you, Jake. You
I'm
can
totally fine
either-
with it. He rolled a 9, which is pretty high.
Well,
Yeah.
what I'll say here is you can either say I go with it, or if you choose that you don't want to go into the potion, you can roll sly.
You know
So
what?
no, you can roll quick.
I'm gonna
to try and-
roll. I don't know what the DC is, but I'm gonna roll and stick with it because I rolled the die anyway.
All right, you're looking
You said sly?
for quick.
Quick. Okay, I have a +2 to quick. 3. I rolled a natural
Alright.
1 on my D10.
Oh. All right. Well, then unfortunately, you were not quick enough.
Oh.
So you and Willie get, dunked, or at least Willie's face, into this potion. And the same thing that I offered to Echo, since you both have got full up on pocket magic, you can either roll or pick a 4th spell or increase one of your stats.
So,
Go ahead.
question: what do I need to roll to immediately blow bubbles into the liquid instead of actually inhaling?
Well, you don't need to inhale to take the effect, but if you wish to blow bubbles, you can totally blow bubbles in the water.
I've never seen a mustache in water or liquid by itself, but I can't imagine it's a pleasant sight, as I imagine this just knocked the mustache off of Willie, and there's just a mustache just sort of flailing in this. And I rolled for an extra spell, which I ironically, given the situation, the spell I rolled was Butterfingers. It is not a tasty chocolate and peanut butter treat, I'll have you know.
No.
I immediately wish you had taken octopus because of that imagery. Just for the fact that I'm assuming that an octopus on land looks about as disturbing as a mustache on its own in the water.
Like,
Well, I just see that, you know, the mustache kind of like doing a breaststroke as it swims in the water.
heave.
I'm not a very good swimmer. I need to brush up on that skill.
Oh, I love the puns. Give him a point of inspiration.
There's no inspiration in this game.
I know.
It was that whispered, I
Let the record show that Carlos has given you a point of inspiration that does not matter.
know. Right. Well, this is okay. So, this is something that has happened. And I
No.
climb up out of the basin and I just sort of do this sort of like a dog coming up out of the water, just
My
Now-
next is like.
Now you will notice, because it's not hard, that a drastic amount of the liquid does appear gone. But as Miss Lynn saw, that when Echo put their face in the water or in the liquid, there was a shimmer, and the same did happen to all of you. So, like, whatever magic of this potion does seem to have taken hold in you, and it does have a temporary effect. But there you go.
well, that was an adventure unto itself. Ooh, what do we do next?
Is there enough for us to try to put the last one in the bottle and take it with us?
How do you wish to do that?
Who has thumbs?
Who has wizard digits? Not me.
I could certainly attempt it. I've learned this little bit of magic. I've never thought about using it to telekinetically scoop up a liquid and put it back into a jar, but nonetheless, I'm willing to give it the old college try.
The old bardic college try. It's always such a scam.
Oh, you mean
So
like
what
this?
are you attempting to do?
My shirt actually says Bardic College on it.
Love it.
want to use
I'm
wizard
attempting
digits?
to use my wizard fingers to telekinetically scoop up the remaining liquid into this bottle.
So I'm going to give you a clever roll, but I'll allow you, since you're using your magic, to go ahead and add an additional 1 to that.
+3 for a total of 6.
For a total of 6. So in the attempt, you wind up like tipping the basin, like you position everything just so, and you get what would look like 1 dose in the bottle, and then the rest kind of like spills out to the side and intermixed into the junk below and just disperses. But you've got a vial. There is a stopper there on the ground that you can put in, and it looks like one dose of whatever it will do.
Well, I'm going to call that a success. Echo, I do believe that I saw you had some sort of pouch or something. Are you able to carry this?
That's way too big to fit in my bag.
Very well. I don't know what to do with it then.
I'm like scrambling to show you, and it's like a messenger bag, but it's bat sized. And it's a potion bottle, which would probably be about the size of the bat. So unfortunately,
It's your bat bag.
Can I like just smack it long in front of us?
Yes, smacking the potion bottle. That's
Yeah,
feel well. But
Round.
since you happen to speak up, why don't you go ahead and give me a clever roll?
okay. That'll be a 5. It's 5.
That'll be a 5. So you do find a black silk pouch, kind of like sticking in the midst the some of the wall
Mhm.
rubble, not rubble, but stuff.
Yeah, I'll go and kind of grab it with my claws and pull it out and turn to Willie and say, this looks about your size.
Imitating a mustachio because they've been together for quite a moment. No, I'm sorry, but no, but thank you. As he actually has a nose, he can smell the liquid. Maybe later. Kind of like that friend that's like passing off on the dank, like, oh no, but thank you. I'm okay, but thank you.
Fine, if I have to do everything, I'll try to like sling the pouch over my shoulder and
Sure.
get the potion in it and carry it along with me, I suppose.
It's much appreciated, but thank you.
Some assistance would be nice. Mustachio.
You guys
With
about the peer
buttons.
pressure, Willie? Like, what's happening?
Oh, I'm putting the thing. I just like help to. I have no hands and thumbs, and I'm trying to put a pouch on
Oh.
myself so I can put a jar in it.
So I imagine Mustachio assisting, but I'm like, off my own volition, my neck just extends out as Mustachio helps you out, I guess. Put it on you.
I'm going to help. And I say it just like that. But I'm keeping my mustache eyes on Miss Lane, as I am much closer than I would like to be.
So
one of your mustache sides like raises like a eyebrow, like I'm going to help.
Right.
What's the form of the sharp mustache? I forget what that's called.
Oh,
The
like
handle?
Yeah, those ones.
It's
I
like
forgot what
a
that-
form of a handlebar mustache. I also picture that for whatever reason, Mustachio has a monocle.
Are you talking about like the Salvador Dali style mustache?
Mustachio's von Skyburner right here.
So, does the mustache actually have eyes, or does it have just a monocle sitting on the mustache?
It's a monocle sitting on one side of the mustache. There's no actual eyes. That would be weird, Ted.
That would be very weird.
Wait a minute. The monocle's sitting on Willie's eye. What's happening?
But it's my monocle.
It's your monocle, but he's borrowing it for a second while you're attached.
How has my familiar become your cosplay?
By accident.
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god, where's the top hat familiar when we need him?
That'll be next episode.
Suddenly in this junkyard, at some point, there's going to be a top hat that just appears.
Right.
You're going to laugh about it. I'm going to laugh about it. The top hat's going to laugh about it. And then we're going to roll initiative.
Oh my gosh.
Well, funny you should mention that now.
Oh no.
Well, now that I have the potion attached to myself, I think it's time to move on. I'm assuming there's still somewhere we can go from here.
Yeah, forward.
Forward, but not backward. Backward collapsed.
Backward collapse. That is correct.
All right.
So a couple minutes later, you've gone kind of up and down, very winding, twisting path within. A couple of times you have to move some stuff out of the way to kind of get past, and as you do so, the pile shakes again, but nothing collapses around you. And then you begin to hear like tapping, like a little bit of metal on metal.
What's that?
That's a good question. Can one of us roll clever?
Sure.
I suppose I'm taking point. I will do this.
Sure.
That's 4.
That's a 4. I mean, there's a number of things that sound like, a rhythmic pattern. It could be, somebody actually working some kind of little tiny forge. It could be somebody just kind of banging things together, or something else. You're not sure.
It sounds like that scary box in the corner of the room. The one that always is blowing cold air in your direction, and it screeches and taps and makes weird sounds, and it's very scary. There's a monster inside, I'm sure. It's the one I always avoid. We should avoid the sound.
Well, the sound is coming from in front of you.
We should avoid the front of us. And my hair is like standing on end, and my back is arched.
It is indeed an interesting tapping, as of one gently rapping upon a chamber door.
Oh, nevermore.
'Tis some visitor, perhaps, tapping at our chamber door. Only this and nothing more. Should like to see what it is.
As I
All right, so do you push past the cat?
sure.
All right, so you push past the cat, and you wind up going around a couple of bends, and as you continue walking forward, the sound gets louder and louder. I mean, it's not like heavy banging. There's not like a huge amount of strength behind it, but it is a 100% very consistent sound. And as you round the corner, you see what looks to be 3 like tiny, as in same size as the bat, clockwork creatures, humanoids, with like white feathery wings. They've got a sword kind of like held up, shield on one side, and they seem to be marching back and forth across the path.
Oh, I know
Well,
what this is.
I kind of fall back for a minute and be like, fellows, I think we may need to roll initiative. But on the off chance if you guys may want to, come forth with me.
Oh no, I've done this before. We just wait until their patrol patterns reach a point where they can't see us, and then we sneak right by them. They will be following the same path.
Where's my insight roll? What is that?
Clever.
All right.
Clever replaces all of your like mental stuff.
I have a nat 10.
You have a nat 10. Do you have any clever that you're adding to it?
Let me check my stats.
Not that it matters. I'm just curious.
Yeah, and not 10 is
Plus
success.
2 with 12.
So what are you trying to figure out?
Is Miss Lane full of crap or
So here's something that's interesting: is a nat 10. The adventurers do something to help your task in some way. I've been curious about if you're going to implement that bit, how that was going to happen, Ted.
Well,
That's the thing.
normally that is how this works. So I'm going to be able to say that it's not anything that they've directly are doing now, but something that has been told to Willie previously by Phlox. And that is to take in what is there. And the cat is telling you, oh, you just have to wait until they move on. But they're literally marching back and forth across the path that you're walking. So they're literally obstructing the path, and their pattern is not deviating that you can see. They're not going somewhere else. They're literally walking across the 3 feet that's there in front of you.
Like literally, my Willies have like a galaxy brain moment. Like this all makes sense now. Just follow the plan, follow the steps, and everything will be okay. Of course, 1 + 1 = 2. Yeah.
Sorcery. You do realize we could all simply just fly over them? Oh, terribly sorry, Miss Lane. How rude of me.
Oh, that's fine. I have a way around things.
Are we certain that they are a nefarious entity and not simply a friend waiting to be discovered?
You can go speak with them if you'd like.
I'm that 10 clever. Figuring out if you're full of crap or not, Asa.
Figuring out that my cat has played video games before. all Penny was saying, well, that's her given name. All Miss Lane was saying is that they follow a patrol pattern and we should wait until they move to a spot where we can like run through. Which wasn't a good plan.
Except they're not moving at a large pattern. It is literally
right.
marching back and forth across a 3-foot path. So
is there kind of like, are there things that I could jump to kind of jump over them so that I could try to go unseen above?
I mean, you could attempt it, but it is a very narrow tunnel that you guys are in. So
right.
I know that it would be a very challenging task.
I have an idea. It's a bit out of character because it involves just a scotch chaos.
I'm listening.
If we could disrupt their patrol, could take advantage of that and scurry on past them by whatever means necessary. Shall I attempt?
As at this point, I think Willie is taking a kin to Mustachio. He's like, by George, he got it.
I am going to use one of my pocket magic.
Okay.
And underneath the feet of the patrol, I'm going to cast Conjure Slick. Which in this case just happens to be beard oil.
Of course.
Beard oil.
All right. So I'm going to let you choose what you're rolling to see how successful this is.
Oh boy, let's see. Well, I feel like because I'm trying to do something. Well, there is an element of clever to it. I'm trying to do something sly.
Okay.
Which is actually my dump stat, but it just feels like that's what it is.
All right.
So here we go. And that's an 8 on the die. For a total of 8.
Okay. What was your question there, Carlos?
Since I'm conjoined to the hip with Mustachio, I don't think there's a chance you can use my sly with that as like kind of like assist or whatever.
I mean, he already rolled an 8, so we're good.
Yeah, good.
So how were you looking to position it?
I imagine it, since it is magical, that the ends of the mustache just sort of unfurl and do these, just suddenly start tracing sigils in the air. And I just picture the beard oil just sort of bubbles up under their feet,
Okay.
in their path, until it slicks whatever the area that it covers is. So that's what I'm attempting to do, is just make it appear under their feet, kind of like a casting grease, I guess.
So in complete Looney Tunes fashion, that's apparently where we've gotten to today. They do the whole, woo, 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 before they collapse into a crashing pile of one atop the other.
Run! Fly, you fools!
And I would like to jump on them to jump over the slick.
Sure.
Mhm.
So all right, just because I'm gonna be mean here, they're covered in this stuff as well. So I'm gonna need you to make a either a sly or a quick there, kitty cat.
I think that's you've given me the option for sly. I'll take it.
Sure.
That's slightly better. That's a 7.
So you lose a little bit of your footing, but you're able to continue on without too much hardship. When you make a jump and you don't have like full traction, it's like one of those to make you slip on your own.
And of course, when I'd land on the other side, I have this oil on the bottom of my paws, which I am then like walking and licking and just, it's like when you ever seen tape in the bottom of cat's paws, they do like the, it's like that. I'm very dissatisfied with this. And that's the true result of not rolling an 8 is I'm unhappy.
Oh man.
All right. So as you kind of get past these things, like there's some muttering and yelling, and as they try to get up, they're yelling at each other and they're yelling at you guys, and they one of them gets to their feet and the other one tries to get up and pulls him back down, lands on top of him.
Oh god.
Imagine you guys kind of like move forward at that.
It's like a total oh my god. I was gonna say Abbott and Costello, is that right? It's it's a full routine of just getting up.
Yes.
It's like a Three Stooges routine.
Yes, exactly. Whether it's on slippery ice or slippery oil or whatever have you, you hear the commotion going for quite some time as they're attempting to deal with this and not being successful.
As Mustachio says, "Fly, you fools!" I use take flight.
But as you round another corner, you find that kind of almost comedically sitting in your path. The tunnel continues on past, but right there in the middle, not quite a pedestal, but pretty darn close, seems to be a stone tablet with a number of magical sigils carved within it. It is as big as the cat.
I think that might be the thing.
Yeah, I see a curvature and a little slash right through it. I think this might be it. I don't know.
I'll nod and say, I think you're correct. And I'll turn to the tablet and I will say, are you the object we are looking for? And I will cast Speak with Object.
Oh,
I've been
nice.
waiting to use the spell.
There's a part of Mustachio that's going, oh no, this cat's an idiot.
I love it.
Have you ever been in a situation where you see, like, a cat will see something and they'll just cackle at it? So really, like, that's probably what you're saying is me just kind of like at this object.
I don't know what you're looking for, but I know what you're looking at, and you are looking at me.
Well, we were told to find a tablet. You are a tablet. What manner of tablet are you?
I am a stone tablet.
Are you of magical properties?
Well, clearly I'm speaking, so I must be magical.
No, you're speaking because of my magics.
How do I know this?
Because look at me. I am very clearly the one who is holding the power in this situation. I've given you the ability to speak.
You are a cat. This place is loaded with them. Lots.
Ask it, does it have a curve and a slash through it?
Does it have a? Do you have a curve and a slash through you?
The symbol of the particular rune we're looking for.
I do not have a slash through me, I am afraid.
Mother.
Perhaps I am not the tablet that you are looking for, just merely the tablet that you are looking at.
What manners of magic do you possess?
I am a tablet that is for the... Well, I used to be one that was concerned with protection. I do feel that I'm of sorts.
What is the reason for your being out of sorts?
Have you ever had someone move your innards and outards all around?
That sounds horrific. I can't say that I have, although I have done that to others.
Well, somebody had my innards and outards moved around quite a bit, and I definitely feel out of sorts. Thankfully, I'm still the same shape.
Do you still possess all your innards and outers, so they are just in the wrong places?
It does appear so, yes.
Then perhaps someone can put you back together.
That would be helpful. Can you do that?
Maybe. I say, licking my paw. Maybe not. Maybe I know someone who can. But I certainly can help you.
Okay, well, might not always be able to do this, but it shakes. Don't know how long this will last, but you wish to take me with. That will make it easier to carry.
I do. Mr. Peacock, this is for you.
Slap on the Willy Mobile. It's all good.
All right, well, I guess you're gonna have the tablet on your back. Oh yes, it is a tablet of protection. It says that its innards are mixed up and its outards are mixed up. Maybe we know someone who can help fix it, but it's probably the thing our masters are asking us to find.
Hopefully something our master is asking us to find. I mean, it doesn't ring a bell. Protection, but I believe this might suffice, hopefully.
Do you know if that circle with slash through it was a protection sigil?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, then maybe we're taking the wrong tablet.
Well, the tablet said that it didn't have a slash through it. Not that none of the symbols had slashes through them.
Ah, good
Do any
distinction.
of you know how to read?
I am a cat.
Is that
of course.
Is that a yes or a no?
Right.
I'm gonna look at the etchings.
I'm gonna point at this tablet and be like, it says clearly right here. Oh man. What's
Echo,
the
go
BS?
ahead. Echo, go ahead and make a clever roll.
I'm just gonna bristle.
Willie, are you trying to make stuff up, or are you?
What's a BS roll? I was supposed to ask, what is a BS roll?
Clever?
So I'm gonna allow you to do clever or sly, because
Oh yeah.
Sly is lie.
I
so
think
yeah, make stuff
sly
up.
would be a lie, yeah.
It,
For the record, I did absolutely lie to that tablet. I don't know if I can fix it or if I know someone who can.
7 for BS.
Just like a cat.
all right. So you're
An ally?
What did you get there, Echo, for your clever?
Higher than 7.
Four.
4. You know, you're not really sure. Things have been a bit muddled from the time that you actually were a wizard. You can read certain things, and these might be magical runes, but you don't know if they're abjuration runes or not.
I think it's the right one.
I
Absolutely
seem,
bullshitting.
I seem really confident about myself as I'm like perspirating, and I think Mustachio's getting wet as well.
What was
Mustachio,
your-
are you still eyebrows, or have you gone back to being a mustache?
I've gone back to being a mustache. It was just for
Okay.
that one scene.
All right.
What was your sly roll to lie to us?
7.
7.
Okay. I will narrow my eyes at you. I'm watching you. But only because you have the tablet. And then I'll keep walking. I believe you.
As his feathers calm down, like, of course.
All right, so you guys, continue on, and then something a little disheartening, scary, frustrating, all of the above happens. The tunnel you're in kind of stops. Like there's stuff every which way but the way you came. And you know that it kind of collapsed behind you when you first entered.
So that scream, it doesn't stop. I stopped because it's annoying, but it keeps going.
Will someone make it stop, please?
I kind of take Mustachio for a second and put it over Echo's ears. Like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm sorry, but this is.
The sound get louder because you put it over ears.
Oh no. I was hoping it would act like earmuffs.
How would that help? You want to cover his mouth?
I thought you were going to earmuff yourself.
Or I thought you were going to earmuff the cat. Like,
Don't put me on the cat.
I was thinking earmuffing Echo, but
Echo's the one screaming.
I don't understand why that would do anything.
I might have misheard, but I thought I heard Echo was
Yeah.
hurting.
Echo
No,
was
Echo's
screaming.
screaming.
Okay, excuse me. If you don't mind, can I retcon that to
Sure.
make Mustachio my own earmuff son?
Sure.
Okay.
Now I just look like you have hairy ears.
A peacock with very hairy ears. That's amusing.
So does Echo stop?
Yeah, eventually. What do we do?
Do you feel better now
No.
that we're all deaf?
No.
Well, I have an idea. I could cast a mist and see if perhaps it will be attracted to any airflow out of here. Maybe we could find a hole that we can squeeze through.
Yes.
What did they say?
Yes.
As I'm asking Mustachio to literally ASMR into my ear.
Okay, Jake, go. We need Mustachio ASMR.
What am I whispering?
Just
plan.
repeating what we said to Willie, because Willie had you stuffed into his ears.
I didn't hear what you said. I cut out.
Oh, That I
But he
was
was going
gonna
to conjure a mist to see
Oh.
if it could find a way to get out.
Yeah.
The cat is going to conjure a mist. It's going to get damp in here. I feel like I should be charging for this.
We're all going to get very moist. All right. Enough of that. I'm gonna cast mist.
All right. The attack doesn't hit.
Miss Lane
It
has
missed.
cast mist
It
and
missed.
has missed.
So it fills the area with a creepy,
Yes.
obscuring fog for a while.
For a while. Notice the very precise time frames. We
Yes,
have while.
a while. Also, it's very precise on how much space this mist takes up.
Mm-hmm. And an area, but it is
Mhm.
creepy and obscuring. So at first, you have this clinging mist that seems to be like hugging and cloying around all of you. You can't see a damn thing at the moment.
Echolocation.
So nothing is different for Echo.
Except everything is slower to respond for the echolocation.
Does the mist begin to flow anywhere? Can I roll a clever to see if it's actually working?
After a few moments, you can feel that there is a bit of breeze, and you don't need to roll, but you see that it's heading out in the direction that you guys had been traveling. So the closer exit would be towards the back end of the tunnel, and because it's the Chaos Crow, to the leftmost side.
Well, I wish this path was going to the right. That only feels correct, but follow the mist.
We're going to follow the mist around to the left.
Okay.
Well,
At
there's
that point, I
the
kind of
problem
just
is
take.
it's like getting through narrow gaps between things.
Mhm.
It's not big enough even for Echo to even like try. So there's stuff that's in the way.
This might be dangerous, but
Whatever follows that sentence, do it.
all right. With that stamp for approval, I'm gonna summon Hole to kind of summon, just kind of, whatever's blocking our way, to kind
Okay.
of collapse further down and hope to whatever God is out there watching, that we don't cavern ourselves.
Oh no, that was a
Only a
load.
foot or
That was a
so
load-bearing pile.
across.
It's only a foot. It's only a foot, but
A foot or so is enough for any of you guys to be able to jump through. So you summon the hole in the wall, and you can see the mist kind of flowing on from behind. But as soon as the hole appears, you feel the area around you begin to shake. Pieces begin to fall. You notice there's actually like a couple items. They actually like kind of sprout wings, or their wings begin to flap, and they fly in directions as this happens. But if you're going to move, I recommend you move quickly.
I will do so.
I assume that
way.
means we have to roll.
Riding,
That would indeed mean you should make a quick roll for me.
I will.
On net 10.
Less GTFO.
So,
11.
7.
11 as well.
All right.
Dang.
So is Asa the only one to roll a 10? Like a nat 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did Joshua tell you, Miss Lynn, previously about moving quickly?
So Joshua one day was sitting and researching, and I was prancing back and forth on the table, pushing aside a few things, being as helpful as I can. He needed his wine glass closer to the edge of the table rather than
Sure.
by his hand. And he stopped out of the blue and he looked at me and he said, "Now, Miss Lane, I feel the need to tell you the immortal words of my previous incarnation of a familiar. He was a tiny blue hedgehog, and he often would like to say the words, 'You've got to go fast.'" And that is how Penny Lane learned to go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Wow, that's so insightful.
Did we
Yes.
find our wizards?
A lot of you managed to, jump out, and you're into another open passageway, and you do see the daylight on the other side. So you're able to get out of the tunnel with the tablet, as well as I believe there's a couple absconded items so far in your possession.
Mhm.
So now what do you do? Here's one of your tasks is complete.
Did we find our wizards?
Well, you know where the wizards are.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's go back to our wizards.
The wizards are currently buried under a pile of stuff.
Okay, I got confused because Asa was doing Joshua voice.
No. He
Flashback.
rolled a nat 10. So the way the rule set works is if you roll a 1 or a 10, your wizards are helping or impeding unbeknownst. And since technically your wizards are unconscious underneath a pile of stuff, I'm saying that the results of that are based off of a previous happenstance.
Mm-hmm.
So, but one of your tasks is complete. Now you just have to figure out how to rescue your wizards from the pile of crap on top of them. What are you guys gonna do?
Go back to the pile.
Yeah. Well,
Could carry the rubble off them, but that seems beneath us.
So, the obvious choices that you guys would see, and there might be other things that you might want to do, but you can take the time to just one by one knock something off, and maybe in a while you'll get completed. Or you can go across the junkyard, navigate past the harpies, sneak into the tower, and try to operate the crane.
Could we not just ask the harpies for help?
Or you could try to do that if you feel like talking to harpies.
well, the most sensible solution is to, and Miss Lane will begin to jump up the pile and begin to bat objects off one at a time from the very top.
I come help.
This is going to take a while.
Yes, you had better not be dead down there. You had better not be dead down there because the Nicel gets dragged down with you, and I do not miss you or your creepy boyfriend.
So like I'm like, oh, this seems sort of beneath me as I kick some like rubble off and whatnot. But I'm like, I don't want to do this. So instead of actually getting my feathers dirty, I'm like, la 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 la, kicking rubble off one by
Sure.
one. Kind of like as the head kind of scratches her feet in dirt and whatnot.
And what does Mustachio wind up doing?
Whatever the absolutely smallest pieces of rubble are, I'm picking them up with the curls of my mustache and just sort of flicking them off to the sides. I don't have a lot of physical ability.
I would imagine either you're using my neck to help you do that, kind of like jazzercise, as I'm kicking my legs and you're making me do like this the entire time, or you may jump off my face, whatever you see appropriate.
So one by one, you toss some things, and occasionally you'll hear things, clatter as it, goes clattering down the pile. Occasionally something will bounce once, sprout some wings, and begin flying off somewhere else. But after about 10 minutes, you see a trio of goblins, handful of tools, hanging from their belt, as well as from the pockets of their vest. They come clamoring up. Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, I know how to solve this problem. I learned this trick from my good friend Mustachio, and I'm gonna cast Conjure Slick underneath the goblins. Because there are 3 of them, and the last time we encountered 3 things, this worked.
That is good logic.
My summoning works like this. I begin to hack up like I'm coughing up a hairball.
Oh no.
And then I just start to cough up slick black grease all over the feet of these goblins.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh dear.
That's my last pocket magic.
Oh dear.
Right.
Wait right there.
That's gotta be a sly roll.
Okay, all right, here we go. 6.
All right. So 2 of them, like just kind of like look at you and stop moving. But the other one kind of begins moving closer towards you, and you watch as he steps on the slick patch of greasy blackness, and he slips, hits his butt, goes sliding down, and takes out one of the other goblins, and they begin tumbling down the pile. But one goblin is still.
What is that goblin? What does he have?
He got tools on him.
He's not like holding anything.
No, there's no weapons.
So, how do we feel about Butterfingers?
I mean, it's
We can take the tools and use them to dig with.
I'm pretty sure Ted was trying to give us goblins to dig with, and I just screwed it up.
I put things in the world, and you get to respond to it. I don't set it.
Yes,
Put
but
your
today
back
we are
into it.
familiars, and that means that we get to do everything super incompetently.
That's
Hell
pretty
yeah.
standard for how
Hell
I play
yeah.
Joshua.
Hey, I'm just here to have fun.
Okay.
I feel good about Butterfingers. I like this plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have another spell here that is change form. I rolled for mine. Is anybody seeing anything larger that would help more efficiently than a tiny bat?
Octopus has many legs.
I mean,
That'll do. I will turn into a skull-headed octopus, which is really funny because octopi don't have bones,
No.
but this one does.
All right, so I'm gonna say, like, you've got the same bat head, and then you just kind of sprout, these 8 tentacles. Does that work for you?
No, that's a little bit too weird for me, but I do kind of like the idea of having a normal octopus head that's just colored like it's got a skull on it.
Oh, I
Okay,
was
so-
thinking
I
you
was
have like a
put-
Cubone style skull.
I
on
was
your
picturing a
octopus.
That
Cubone
works
too.
Yeah, like skull helmet. I love skull helmet. Let's do skull helmet.
and an octopus could totally just fit inside a skull like that.
Uh-huh.
It's my house. I live here now.
Oh, well, this should be very helpful for operating the crane.
I'm gonna grab tools and I'm gonna start digging with my multiple limbs and ignore the
so-
fact that there's a
or-
crane.
So did you cast Butterfingers and then change form?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
As a matter of fact, I can take all of the tools in my 8 arms and start digging with them.
it says they're drop whatever they're holding, but I'll say that the tools fall out of their belt. Not a problem. So you have a bunch of tools that an upset goblin, like, What are you doing?
I dig.
I dig.
Why are you all digging?
Do you dig, sucker?
Our people are under here, and it isn't that we care about their well-being or anything.
Well, that's not entirely true, but the part about them being down there is indeed true.
Do not care about her well-being at all. Not worried.
I've come to find that if Joshua passes away, then I also will cease to be. So in that, I do care about his well-being, only as far as how it benefits me. I'm going to smack something at the goblin.
What the cat said.
Why don't you make a fierce roll for me? We haven't done much with fierce.
Yeah, I've been waiting for fierce. 8.
8. Oh, geez. So you smack it at him hard, and he just kind of, ironically, I don't know if goblins are prone to hissing, but he hisses at you and then darts off.
And I hiss back,
Goblin.
and we hiss at each other for a few seconds, and then he runs off.
It's her fault I'm not a goblin anymore.
But you do now have, 2 goblins, down in a heap. They may or may not be unconscious. They may or may not be dead. You're not quite sure.
Yes,
There's definitely a goblin who had all of his tools taken from him and scared off by a cat and a skull-capped octopus.
I approve of you in this form, Echo. You're quite useful.
Echo, go ahead and give me a fierce roll, and go ahead and add an extra 1 to it.
That was the D20. 8.
8. So you begin to make fairly, I don't want to say rapid progress because there's a lot of stuff here, but faster progress. Within moving stuff. What is Mustachio and Willie doing at this point?
What Willie is doing, is just making himself seem larger by expanding his feathers and like, ha ha ha, you don't want to mess with us this entire time.
Attempting to scare away anything else that might be coming?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and give me a fierce roll.
Two on the die with no mods.
I was about to say, if you fail, you attract things.
Like, he's a punk, get him.
Well, you have the peacock feathers out, and the point of those is to attract. So I was like, oh, if you fail.
Damn it, I got mates.
So I'm going to say that a hawk comes and lands next to you, drawn in by whatever shenanigans that Willie is doing. What are you doing?
I'm going to ignite a flame between me and it, like, get the hell out of here.
Okay, so you're trying to chase it off?
Yeah.
God,
He keeps trying to give us help, and we just keep being bonobos.
I'm just reacting to what you're doing. Who's saying I'm not giving help? So go ahead and make another fierce roll, and because you're using pocket magic, go ahead and add another 1.
That's gonna be in that 10.
At 10.
Nice.
So
+1, love it.
what is
Because I have a +0 mod.
What is Phlox told you about using fire?
So when you're a jet from the first cigarette that you ever had. And
really? West Side Story?
I don't know, like whatever, because you know how Phlox is with like show business and whatnot, like he just kind of like giving pyrotechnic tips like, listen, man.
The
When
West
they
Side
least
Story tracks with
expect
flocks.
it,
Sure.
when they least expect it, you gotta put-cha.
Okay. Well, you put shot, and the hawk goes sailing away. It takes off. Totally giving you the stink eye of like, what the hell?
Like, bro.
And then you chase him away. What kind of sick games are you playing?
So, the spell descriptions are so great in that they're very descriptive in almost how ineffective these spells are. Specifically, Ignite Fire says, like lighting a whole box of matches at once.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking about the visual of like, it's like lighting a sparkler. It's like, oh, this is actually a little underwhelming.
It really is.
Well, my my take on this game is like, it's not designed for combat. You guys
Oh no, yeah.
hit points, and like there's no rolling initiative, so like that's not an aspect of what this rule set is designed to do. So like, you have to kind of take all of those things into an account for creating aspects and the challenges of what's out there, which is very, very different from a normal D&D feel. In D&D, everything can be fought. Everything has some kind of manner of armor class and hit points, unless you start getting into like seriously magic items and artifacts and that kind of stuff. So I was like, all right, well, you gotta take all of that in.
Oh yeah. It's just, I love it. I love these spells. This is a lot of fun.
I think Robin's got a question.
Yeah, I was putting
Ted,
it
an
there.
octopus can fit into any hole that its beak can fit through.
Uh-huh.
So if I at any point find an opening that I can squeeze through to get into where our wizards are, I would like to do that.
All right. So over the next insert very long time interval, because if we're going to be vague on all things and rules, why can't I be vague in my descriptions too?
Of course.
Absolutely.
You guys begin, making progress. I see the occasional batting away of things from the cat, and then sitting there majestically, hey, praise me for accomplishing something, even if it's knocking a single mug down the pile. I see the octopus kind of like burrowing and just kind of tossing things headlong. Occasionally your tool gets stuck in something, and every once in a while one of those tools kind of breaks or gets lost in the fervor of the move. I see Mustachio kind of like flying around and picking up the smaller stuff and tossing it aside, and the ever so pristine Willie kind of trying to keep their feathers away from everything and just kind of like chicken clawing at the pile. But all in all, it's Echo who makes the most progress and eventually finds your way down to your wizards, who are alive and breathing, but
I slap her with my suction cups.
unconscious.
I have heard that throwing water in their face is always a good trick, and I'm going to use my pocket magic to conjure a bucket of water.
You're gonna conjure a bucket of water, sans bucket.
Yeah, no bucket, just the water. But I would also like to do this in a way that deliberately, without looking like it was on purpose, completely soaks Miss Lane.
All right.
So
well, you can.
Ted, quick question.
Yes.
In D&D, when you hit an unconscious creature, that's 2 death saves failed immediately, right?
Yes. So we are currently not playing D&D. We're playing a familiar problem.
Right. So Echo unwittingly kills their wizard.
I think Robin would be quite upset if I had their familiar kill their character.
Next game, roll a death save. You only get one.
So Echo, you're attempting to wake up your master. You're slapping, but I will allow you free reign over your stat block of, are you rolling clever, fierce, sly, or quick? to try and wake them up.
Okay, so clever is not my best stat, but I'm gonna roll it anyway because I feel like I'm aiming specifically for places that are more wake upable.
You changed to an octopus. The octopus has a
Oh, that's
clever of
right.
3.
Oh, well, here we go. 8.
8. So
Which is how many legs I have.
you definitely get a reaction from Chesaline. Let's jump over to Mustachio. Because of your narration, I'm pretty confident in the water supposed to be waking up Ordo without a problem, but you wanted to do on the sly to get Miss Lynn. So I'm gonna need you to make a sly roll.
Oh, that's up on my. That is a 9 on the die. Total of 9.
All right. What was Miss Lynn doing? Were you trying to do anything to get Joshua up, or were you just kind of like sitting there preening?
At this point, it seems like they've got it in hand. The wizards are almost saved. This seemed like a good time for a nap. So Miss Lane is not at all aware of this bucket of water coming her way.
Let me ask you this question. Did you do like I'm gonna lie on Joshua, or were you just lying on stuff?
I think if I can get down there, I would just, lie down on his chest and.
All right. So for narration's sake, I'm going to say that Ordo fell this way and Joshua fell this way. So Ordo and Joshua's heads are right near each other. So when this bucket of water splashes down, it's going to hit on Ordo, Joshua, and Miss Lynn. And Miss Lynn bears the brunt of the soaking.
All right. Well, in response to that, I will come diving out of this nap I was trying to get to, and I would like to roll a fierce against Mustachio as I just give him any pretense of sly and just try to attack Mustachio.
Absolutely.
Come on, something good. That's a 7.
That is a 7. So I'm gonna have this be an opposed roll. So why don't Mustachio, why don't you go ahead and give me a quick roll?
Natural 10.
Dang.
For a total of 12. That's one quick mustache.
So the mustache kind of just like quickly moves out of range of this, hissing slash of the fierce yet soaking wet cat that goes.
Since I rolled a nat 10,
sure.
I would like to be that in the moment that Miss Lane takes a swipe at me, there's just like a blur. I'm gone. And what she doesn't know is I am in between her ears on her head.
Oh no, I love it.
Nice.
So whenever you look around, you do not see me.
Oh, that's good. And I'm like darting back and forth, just like, and then I kind of try to shake the water off and start mumbling, I'm going to get that mustache. I'm going to get it. I'm going to tear out. I'm going to see what its insides are, and I'm going to bring them to the outside and put the outsides on the insides.
God, you're so good at being a cat.
Right? Thank
you. So Joshua and Ordo in this moment, has that, that, like they're coming to, like, but it's not like the gasp of like they weren't breathing or any of that kind of stuff, but they definitely, do give audible breaths as the water splashes down on their face. Chesaline winds up doing the same thing. What's Willie doing?
Willie's just using his feathers like, listen, I'm not going to be here for much longer. So he's actually using his feathers to kind of like, you actually created me into existence. Let me just clean your face real fast as he's like, cleaning up flocks like, hey, buddy, we did it.
All right. So how are you, let me ask, what attribute would you like to roll? What stat are you trying to use here?
I feel like because he's trying to do this in a beautiful way. I'm pretty sure it's fierce or quick. I'm not sure.
Whatever you want to roll here.
Sure, I kind of feel like it'll be fierce, even though I have a +0 to that.
Sure.
But he's trying to be fierce about like, yeah, like we're doing this. That is an 8 on the die.
All right. So you managed to stir your adventurer, your master, your wizard awake through your delicately, fiercely cleaning his face. And as the wizards come to, and you're able to successfully deliver the tablet, that is where we're going to take our break. We'll be back next month and return to these characters as our wizards awaken with the tablet delivered and be able to see where the story goes next.
Can I make one more note?
Oh, absolutely.
So I have it in my head that when Chess wakes up, Echo is just like, I did not miss you at all. You are terrible and I hate you. And like, I'm just imagining Chess just doting on him and being like, oh, you were such a good boy. And like, that's a thing that's happening.
And Joshua would wake up and turn to Ordo and say, I believe your mustache got my pussy wet.
Yes, we couldn't have expected them.
And Ordo just turns bright red.
I'm sorry,
my
the joke
God,
was
it's
right there, and I can't believe nobody aimed to make it sooner.
You know what? No, we were aiming not to make jokes like that, but we couldn't have expected us to be good the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, from the start, there were all kinds of things that.
Let's be
we let
honest.
go, but damn, dude.
Let's be honest. If Frag was here, that joke would have been made in the first 10 minutes.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
fair.
There's a reason why I waited to have Joshua make it.
Sure. So thanks for tuning in. As I said, we'll be back sometime next month. We got to figure out the schedule. We usually take December off, so we'll see what that is going to look like. But I do believe we've got yet another vessel taken care of, so it's time to see what happens next. Feel free to jump down into that description below to check out easyrollerdice.com, as well as the link to that Kickstarter, and get your cool Dice of Giants. They're awesome, and totally terrify your table when you drop a 48 millimeter D20 down. It's fun. So until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay
Stay nerdy.
Nerdy.